There are tales that should never be told, and incidents that would have been better left undone. In places far from the light, in the heart of the night, when the wolf returns to the edges of the forest, our destinies intersect with a dark world of secrets and the dead. There is no place to hide, no way to escape. Our footsteps leave their trace, red dust rising into the air, and shadows surround us from every side. We discover that reality can be far more terrifying than we ever expected, and that courage is not only facing death, but facing what we never knew even existed. What you are about to hear is the testimony of someone who was never meant to survive and never expected to see what he saw. Turn off the lights and listen. What? Voodoo. It is the black magic practiced in the Antilles, and my mother is a skilled sorceress. They all testify to that. A skilled sorceress? The old woman was watching me with her gray eyes, pleased by her son's praise and by the fear in my eyes, which of course did not escape her. What is happening to me? What demon is chasing me so that I place myself in all these predicaments? Once I wrestle with a terrified creature. Once I hunt a mythical beast. Once I sneak alone at night into the apartment of a cannibal. And now I am in some apartment in Jamaica after midnight with a sorceress skilled in the arts of black magic? After a few minutes, the old woman said in a voice like a coffin lid closing, in French, "You, young white man, speak about the zombie." White? My wheat-colored complexion causes me many problems. I appear foreign wherever I go. In Nigeria, they used to call me "you white exploiter." In England, they called me "you backward Negro." And even at Loch Ness, Anfred said to me before he died, "You English dog." I said to her in broken French, "But excuse me, Mrs. Marcia. My name is Mother Marcia." "All right, Mother Marcia. I do not understand exactly who the zombies are." She looked at the dim lamp thoughtfully, then said, "Zombie is their name in Jamaica. In Tobago and Barbados, they call them the living dead. I think the latter name is clear to you?" "Yes, linguistically," she said, studying me intently. "Every time the sorcerers perform their rituals beyond the river, someone dies. And after 3 days, he leaves his grave in the darkness. Then they call him a zombie. And they all know him and remember his features, but they do not dare speak to him because the zombie does not like anyone to touch him, speak to him, or bother him. Otherwise, woe to him. The zombie is cursed forever. He does not know eternal rest, but roams the earth. His wife fears him, and his old friends are afraid of him. He decays while alive. He does not eat, drink, or sleep, but Dalmas was drinking like a sponge. Of course, there remain ingrained habits in him from when he was alive. Dalmas was a drunkard in his life, so he repeats what he used to do. And is he the only zombie? No, there are 3 in Kingston and dozens in the villages around us. Then she smiled a harsh smile and whispered, "You do not believe. I see that in your eyes." I swallowed, thinking about what I should say, then decided to speak frankly. "Listen, Mother, I know what I am about to say will anger you, but I will say it anyway. The heavenly religions affirm the existence of black magic, but deny its ability to deprive any creature of its natural right to die. Immortality is an attribute of God Almighty, and we have no immortality on this earth, and He alone grants us eternity in the afterlife." The sorceress stiffened, and I realized that my night would not pass peacefully, and that I would certainly end up as a flea or a pig or something similar, which did not appeal to me. After a few moments, she extended her withered arm toward a burlap bag on the table beside her, and from it she took out a bundle of cards, worn-out playing cards that clearly showed excessive use. I know these cards. I know their mysterious drawings and their cursed booklet-like form. They are tarot cards that sorcerers cannot do without. Years later, I had a bitter story with these cards and with Dr. Lucifer, and I will tell you this story in detail, along with an explanation of these accursed cards someday. So remind me then. The old woman extended her claws toward the cards after removing their band to gather them together, and whispered to me as she inhaled the cigar smoke, "Shuffle them. Think only of the zombies and of tonight's incident." The cards emitted a smell of spices and strange perfumes I could not identify. I shuffled them while trying, guided by my conscience, to focus my thoughts on what she had asked, despite feeling the absurdity of it all. Then she said, "Now, give them to me." She took them from me and began laying them out in a certain arrangement on the table, chewing her cigar without teeth. An experienced sorceress who seemed to know her craft very well. Ah, the castle, the queen, then the gilt, then the queen, then... And I caught sight of the last card, the one representing death as a skeleton holding a sickle, harvesting heads. Whatever that nonsense meant, its end was death. Death and nothing else. And I heard her voice, like a coffin lid opening again. Woe to you both from the trap of the living dead. There will be no others. You will be buried alive. And when the midday sun sets, the castle will burn, and the wolf will howl in pain, because there will be no others. After 2, perhaps after 3, many graves will open, but the red earth will blind his eyes, and he will not see, and 2 foreigners will die the death of dogs. These phrases were rhymed in her French. Then she lowered her head and began gathering the cards in silence. So I said to her, "All this is amusing, but what does it mean?" She did not answer, and continued placing the cards into the bag with a distant look. "I do not understand a single word. Would you explain it to me?" Gabriel cleared his throat politely. He had remained silent like a fish throughout this conversation. He clearly feared his mother greatly, and when he placed his hand on mine, I realized that my visit had come to an end. My mother does not like to speak after tarot prophecies. Nonsense. I heard nothing but a fine poetic piece worthy of attention. But if she wanted to warn me of something, then it is only natural that I should know what that thing is. That is my right. Her voice grew firmer and her grip stronger as she said, "She will not give you an answer. She leaves you to understand what she said. And the coming events will bring these fragments back to your memory clearly. Then you will know what you must do. And now it is time to return to the hotel." I sighed in resignation and followed him to the door, feeling disappointed at the time I had wasted with this madwoman, without gaining anything. Then I heard her voice calling me harshly. "Remember." I turned to her questioningly and she said, waving the death card, "After 2, perhaps 3. What you have just heard is not the end. It is only part of the picture, a small fragment of a longer chain, where every answer creates a new question. Some secrets are never buried, and some nightmares do not end when you wake up. There are still details yet to be revealed, faces that have not appeared, and truths which, if you were to know them in full, you would wish you had never known. Until we meet again, remember, not everyone who survived has truly survived.